PSA just made their Sabre AR-10 series even better with this AR-10 Sabre pistol. We're gonna break down this gun and tell you why you might wanna choose this one over this one. Let's get into the 30-second breakdown. That's from the first 30 seconds, give or take. I give you guys my exact thoughts on this product before we get into the full video. That way you can just stop watching because now you know exactly what I think about it, or continue watching and find out why I say these things in greater detail, and it does help out with the algorithm, and I do appreciate that. This is the new pistol version of the AR-10 Sabre lineup, and I'm really happy to see PSA adding this because it just gives you more options on an already great lineup. These Sabres have been pretty awesome so far. Good reliability, and the price point has been great. For this rifle right here, this is gonna give you about $1,300, and these are probably gonna be pretty hard to find in stock. Now, you've got an adjustable gas system up front that is easily accessible, and I really like that. You have 12 different adjustments, so if you are going to be running this suppressed and non-suppressed, switching back and forth, it makes it really easy to make those adjustments depending on what you're doing. These are going to come in a 12.5-inch barrel. This is a mid-length gas system. You have QD points on either side of the handguard. You have Radian charging handle and Radian safety selector, 2-stage trigger. This comes with a 20-round Lancer mag that matches the color, and the color is one of the things that I think stands out the most about this. You have that FDE and green look, or that burnt bronze style, kind of a mustardy look on the SB Tactical A4. Really like the color combo on this gun. Moving back to your buffer setup, you have an S5 buffer tube, you have the H buffer, and then you have a rifle 308 buffer spring in here. And it does run reliably. The only times I had any problems, you're gonna see it in some of the B-roll, is when I switched back to the suppressor and I didn't have my adjustment quite figured out yet. I was shooting some different drills, and then when I finally got it dialed in, I didn't have any problems. So reliability has been really, really good, other than the times that I was messing around with the suppressor and not suppressor. But I was expecting that because I had the same reliability with my original 308 Sabre that I showed you guys at the beginning of the video. Accuracy wise, I was really happy with the accuracy. When you're looking at something a little bit shorter, like this, a 12.5-inch, you know, your biggest thing is you want reliability and accuracy, because this is really cool, but you want to make sure that cool factor and the look factor actually has that function factor. So reliability was good, and accuracy I was impressed with, which will show you more later in the video, the testing that we did for that. Now let's get into my relationship with PSA. They did send me this rifle. I did not spend my own money on it. Before we get to the video, let's go over a couple companies that have been super nice. That is Brownells and Shooting Targets USA. Brownells has been incredible and is a massive support for this entire community, and I wouldn't be able to do anything that I do here without them. Check out my website, tacticalvisor.net, to see how nice they are. As you know, unfortunately, I can't say a ton about them, but Brownells is incredibly nice. Thank you to Brownells. Another company that has been incredibly nice is Shooting Targets USA. These are the targets I've been using to outfit my range recently. I've been using their poppers a lot, which are these smaller targets. They're a lot more inexpensive, so they're more affordable, and they are reactive, along with you hear the audible noise when you hit them. Been putting those all over the hillside, as you can see from the B-roll here, and their new hostage target as well. Don't have to worry about 2x4s and going through them. They have metal stands, which is a great addition and saves you money in the long run, not having to constantly buy 2x4s, but really looking forward to filling out the range more with these targets. Once again, I want to thank Shooting Targets USA for being so nice, and I appreciate them so much. Now let's go over everything in a little more detail with this gun. Now, I'm not going to do a full in-depth review like I did with the other two guns, because I've already tested the Sabre line of the AR-15, the Sabre line of the AR-10, and this is basically the same thing. So reliability in the time that I've had this has been really good, which I was expecting, because that's what I had with the other two. So I have the AR-15 one here if you guys want to watch the video, and I also have that M110 clone, which is a 308 Sabre as well. So I have that video here if you guys want to watch either of those. After this video, you can see those in a lot more detail, and I break down everything and do a lot more testing. But with this one, I just wanted to show you guys kind of what you get when you buy this and give you my initial thoughts. So for the price point of $1,299 or $1,300, I think you get a lot of options, and it's a really nice setup for that if you want a good 308 gun. I think PSA's really settled in to that mid-range quality. They obviously still have their budget stuff with their cheaper guns on their website, but with the Sabre lineup, they've really pushed into that middle grade, and I think they're doing really good with it. At first, you could probably watch my initial reviews, I was really skeptical about it. I was worried, but they've really come out with the reliability, durability that you expect, and they've been pushing these guns out to where they're actually in stock a little bit more. Before, so hard to find this stuff in stock, but they're really, geez, ow. I don't know what happened to my voice for a second. But they've really been pushing hard to getting this stuff. A lot of new releases, along with making sure the stock is available for those that want to purchase. But so far, when I first got this gun, without the suppressor, this gun is obnoxiously loud. And I was expecting that, but I wasn't expecting it to be as loud as it was. So I went out, we shot with it, had Kayla filming for me, and we both just basically stopped shooting after 2 mags because it was almost unbearable. I would have had to put another pair of hearing protection under my hearing protection to be able to shoot this comfortably. It was still hurting my ears with hearing protection on, and that was just not fun. Now I will say my range is under a hillside in like a valley almost, and there's trees everywhere, so it echoes incredibly bad down there. So that probably is why. So if you have a wide open range, probably would make a big difference, but indoor would be awful with this thing. So right then I ran upstairs, I threw a suppressor on here, and it made it so much different. It was much more comfortable to shoot, a lot more fun, and it didn't hurt my ears in the slightest. So this suppressed is exactly the way I'm gonna run this and keep this gun. I will not run this probably unsuppressed very much, unless for some reason I forgot the suppressor went to the range. Other than that, the suppressor is going to live on this gun. So we already went over all the little parts and pieces that you get here in the 30-second breakdown. Buffer system's good. It has good recoil. It feels comfortable for it. It's a 12.5-inch 308. You're going to feel recoil. I don't care what you put in this thing. Never in the world am I going to say, oh, it's a real soft recoil. Like, the recoil feels good and it's comfortable and it shoots very well. And what they did with the buffer system, doing the H buffer and the spring for the rifle length and everything, it does help, but it's still a 308 in a small package. So it's going to have some recoil to it. So don't expect, oh, wow, they said they put a really nice buffer system and it's going to shoot super incredibly light. It's not, but it still shoots smooth enough for what it is. This has a Sabre Claw 2-stage trigger, and I'm pretty sure that's PSA's trigger, and it's good. It's definitely better than a mil-spec trigger, and you're gonna tell that this is an upgrade to those. I usually choose my Geisler's, but for an out-of-the-box gun, I like the trigger on this. Radium parts are a great addition to this and definitely a must for the charging handle. I will say this is one of the most sluggish Talon safety selectors I've ever used. It feels like I am pushing this through mud. I don't know if something's just with this one. I'm gonna take everything apart, re-put it back together, because usually I like the 45 throw instead of the 90. So I'm gonna take this apart, put it back together, see what I can figure out why that's so sluggish, but it does feel like I'm pushing this through a big old bottle of soup. I don't know why I chose a bottle of soup, but that actually doesn't even make any sense. We're just gonna go back to mud. Mud made more sense. It feels like you're pushing it through mud. You get one 20-round Lancer mag. I'd love to see at least 2 of those coming out of the package, especially for those of you that don't have 308s. It's nice to have 2 mags, but I think the mag itself that they chose, they didn't go with like a black one. I think the color combo just really fits this gun. And the color they went with, oh, it looks good. Looks really good. I love what they did with that green and the FDE or bronze look. I think that's really, really sharp. Barrel length, I love it. I think 12.5 is perfect for this. I think if you go a little bit too shorter, then the gun just becomes a little bit too unusable. Now, accuracy-wise was one of the things I was worried about because of being a 12.5 inch. I was like, okay, this is probably gonna lose some accuracy. I was incredibly happy. Went out to 50 yards, did some accuracy testing, and you guys are gonna see here we're using a 168 grain, and that's Federal gold medal match ammo on 308, and we were happy with that. I use 175 in my patrol rifle that I use for work, and really, really happy with that. That has really been dialed down on my CZ600 range, but I decided to go with the 168 to try that, and I had really good luck with accuracy for this, so I was happy with that. I didn't do any extensive accuracy testing. I was doing a lot more running and gunning with this, but if you wanted to throw a bipod on this and a suppressor and run it with that kind of setup, it would be a really good setup for something that's a little more compact. You don't want anything 20 inches incredibly long. This is something you can fit in a much nicer package and run around with, but still reach out and touch something accurately. Now let's dive just a little bit deeper into the gas block here. This is a rifle speed gas block. This is the first time I've ever used one like this, to my knowledge. I might have had one, a variation of this, but the first one like this, where it is such an easy adjustment. This is the easiest gas block system I think I've ever used. Just very quickly change it like that. No tools required. They left the handguard a little bit back so you can add your suppressors easily. There's no mess up or hang up with your handguard being too close, and you're easily adjustable there up front. So I really like the choice with that gas block. And again, the only reason I ever had any malfunctions was because I was trying to figure out the actual gas system and what I should run it at. But I finally figured out what my suppressor likes and what the gun and the ammo I was shooting. And once I figured that out, it was dialed in and I was good to go. Other than that, that is the full details of this gun. We got a KLS 1 to 8 times. This is the K18I2, the best LPVO I think I've ever used. Price point is definitely way out there. It's pretty expensive, but for this gun, I thought it was a great fit, and I was incredibly happy with how well it worked because I was able to bring it back to that one-time shoot close if I wanted to. I've also had the offset there on that ScalarWorks mount, but I could rotate that and get a little distance as well and shoot a little more accurate. So all in all, really happy with the setup. Hope this video was able to help you guys make a better purchase decision and give you all the information that you needed to help you decide maybe this isn't something I want based off of something I said, or this is exactly what you're looking for and you can make a more confident confident decision. It's always my goal to help you spend your money in the best way possible. Other than that, I appreciate you all. I want to thank Howitzer Clothing. They've been so helpful with the channel over the years. They make amazing clothing. They have a tactical visor shirt as well, and there's a link in the description. You guys can pick one up for yourself. And they've donated a ton of money because they donate 5% of proceeds to charity, and that is really cool of them. We're doing a lot of giveaways here to end out the year, so make sure you stay tuned. Not a lot of things I can say here on YouTube, but on Rumble and everything, you guys can check out the giveaways that we're doing. Join my locals channel. That is how you get access to all those giveaways and all the really, really cool ones that we're doing that I highly recommend being a part of. Other than that, thank you guys so much, and I appreciate you all.